All right, so in that last house, you saw where we absolutely crushed it. It was a little house. We got to work on the entire envelope of it, and we almost did too good of a job, if that's possible. Now I want to take you through a house. I'm gonna do another final inspection. This is a big old two-story home, just a ton of cubic footage. It's also got drop ceilings throughout it. Now I've found when I assess these homes, that's almost always indicative of there was plaster issues, falling down, whatever. They didn't put drop ceilings in because their plaster was in such good shape they were tired of looking at it. They put it in because it was deficient. You know, they had holes in it, various things they wanted to cover up. It makes it very hard to hit target in houses like these because you cannot always address those issues. You can't always find them in the attic. We've gone up and not shot vac, but insulation vacked out all the insulation out of attics before, and trying to seal from the top side. That's a lot of work, and it doesn't always yield great results. So I'm just going to show you some of the stuff I'm talking about here and some of the problems we saw with this home. So again, this is a two-story house. It's got these 12 by 12 tile, staple up tile everywhere. It's also got, well, they're beautiful, these big old pocket doors. These are a bear to air seal because this house is balloon framed, so the connectivity is all the way up to the attic. It's got bump out windows in it. It's got this drop stairway that comes down. It's also got a drop ceiling. When you go outside, and I'll shoot this video in a minute, this area right here ties into a front porch that I know shares connectivity to the house. We can't get up in there to air seal that. We found some connectivity in the attic from this space, so, you know, I'm sure I make it look like we go in and just crush all these, but there's homes where we just can't get to them, and we never will. So, you know, show the good with the bad, I guess. But when we come into homes with ceilings like this, I just know from the assessment side of it, we're gonna struggle. And especially when you've got a ceiling like this that ties in. I'll go outside and shoot a little footage of the porches and different things like that. This house has a lot of these little bump outs in it. And this roof connection up here most likely does not have sheeting behind it. So that roof area is open up to the floor truss cavities, everything else. We've got a front porch here. Try to keep you out of the sunlight. This front porch right here is where that stairway connection ties in. Now that front porch, most likely that whole thing has no sheeting behind it, and it's open into the inside of the house. So our guys fought this for days with air sealing. We've also got soffits, try to get a shot of this, that tip out at a pretty sharp angle. We found the sheeting did not run all the way up to the top of the wall up there, and we actually were able to reach out, spray foam some of that to try to block that connection. But there's like, we cannot get to this area. So while our guys worked their asses off, it was hot as hell when they were doing this for days trying to get to target. We didn't make tremendous gains on this house. And you know, it's just, like I say, take the good with the bad. It wasn't for lack of effort. They literally about killed themselves working in this hot attic for days on end, trying to hit target. And we finally, you know, you got to know when to call the dogs off. We just weren't going to get there, so we packed it up and did our best and moved on. So now we're on the other side of the house, and you can kind of get a better view of that soffit detail and another one of these bump outs here where, you know, we got some connectivity shared. We've also got a back porch that was put on this house with no air barrier from where the porch ties into the house, and that's between floors, and no way to get to it to air seal it. It is next to impossible to hit targets on some of these homes. And couple that with all the drop ceilings inside. You know, we're trying to do it all from the attic because we can't get to in between the floors, but some of these are just, you're never going to get there. It's just the way they're built, and you know, we do everything we can for them and move on. So while we may not have hit target on this job, and our guys probably knew that going into it, it definitely does not affect the work ethic or quality of work that our guys have just continuously hammered and honed their skills on. So like this spray foam, if you can see, this client's got carpet down on the floor in several places. There's not any spray foam where there shouldn't be. There's no paint all over the place. They've pulled back all this insulation up here, got it in the box seal where it needs to be. Everything's fire coated. The quality of work that they're doing in houses, even when they know they're not going to hit target, is really impressive, because it's easy to have the attitude when you go into it on these little homes, let's kill it, we know we're going to get there. And then on these big homes, I'm sure when they were working up in that attic and it's 110 degrees outside, it's pretty easy to want to give up, and they didn't, even though they knew it may not have been the most fruitful effort they were making. And they've never equated, you know, good house, good job, bad house, bad job. They've always had a high quality of work, and I like when I do an inspection, I come down here and I don't see any spray foam all over the carpet or paint everywhere. Everything's nice and neat, tidy. You know, that other video I really praised our mechanical crew, but this spray foam, if you've never used this product, it's impossible not to make a mess with it. And these guys have really done a nice job, and just keeping respect for the homeowner's property in mind, and just, you know, it conveys a nice image of that they care for the homes they're working in. All right, so that's going to wrap this up. Again, I just wanted to, you know, it's easy to be on YouTube or whatever and show just the glamour shots, right? It's easy to make yourself look like you guys do no wrong and everything else, but the truth of the matter is that this is an incredibly difficult job. These houses are incredibly tough to hit target in sometimes. Our guys continuously always make the maximum effort to get there, and you know, it's just nice to show, like, the way it is. We didn't get there, and we're not. That's why we hit 90% of target and not 100. And anybody that's claiming they hit 100% of target, that's probably not true or accurate. So again, just a different side of an inspection, going from a house that was super, you know, tight and perfect to one that's just is what it is, I guess. So see you guys.